Hey class, hope you're doing well. This is going to be our teaching segment, so coffee time with Mr. H. Not a whole lot has changed from the classroom to now the virtual online gathering. So wherever you are, I hope you're doing well. I hope your families are doing well. This weekend was enjoyable. I was able to unplug for a little bit, and I hope the same for you. I'm going to go over two things that we're doing. The outliers assignment that I am still accepting, sometimes for full credit if you did it well and effective and based on the rubric, which I'm going to go over in just a second, and also our other assignment that we were working on, which was in the rainy season in Vietnam. That's going to be something that we do, and I'm going to show you what I did, and I'd like to see you do that as well. Those are going to be our first 2 to 3 assignments, and I'm going to offer an extra credit like I did last week. This is what we're working with outliers, with the story. We're going to look at another piece in this book, okay? I'm doing two things here for my English 3. You're going to continue on in the book, and for my A slang, we're going to be going back to the in the rainy season in Vietnam, using the same mechanics that we used here for the analysis. This is what it looks like. The biggest thing with the Rosetta Mystery on the Word doc, I'm looking at it right now. Most of you submitted the first 5 questions, but it has been updated. So that was great for the first few days of instruction, and I had office hours based on that, so look back to the notes you may have taken. Question 6, question 7, and for some of you 5, but 6 and 7, that's on the new one. You just click new. You're going to copy and paste everything that you did for questions 1 through 5, like we went over last week in the office hours and in the notes on the update. You're just going to copy and paste your answers from the previous one for 1 through 5 and then continue 6 and 7, which is the end of the reading, and you're going to resubmit that to me today, and it will not be late. Okay, I promise it won't be late. I'm going to look at everything, and for those of you who did turn it in on time and you did it well, when I say well, I just mean like you did it effectively based on the rubric itself, like you went through, you introduced, you cited, and you explained. You will receive extra credit because you did do it on time. And for those of you who are like, oh, hey, I deserve extra credit, you can. That's fine. I'm going to introduce what the side project is going to be in just a second. Question 6, if you missed the office hour last week, 6 is Wolf first thought that his hypothesis was based on the Rosettan life expectancy, and why was it so high? Well, it was because of this, fill in the blank, because blank. Was he right? Was he wrong for question 6? You're going to take a look at what he did. It's in section 2, where it says number 2 at the very top as a title. And he first thought that the Rosettans must have held on to some dietary practices of the old world. You're going to continue on from there that his realization and hypothesis wasn't true, and you need to delineate on why that is. Question 7, choose a 1 to 2 sentence quote. This is differentiated to you, so I'm getting a lot of quotes I can see right here, and I've already graded a ton of them. If you haven't had yours graded yet, not a big deal. It will go in the next 48 hours because I've had so many people that didn't make a copy of their Google Doc, so we had to like put it back up and make it so it's only visible by a student. So make a copy, download it, unsubmit it. That's how you edit it. This is for you. Choose a quote that you like. Go through, find something that is interesting, tantalizing, something that resonates with you, or something that you just find interesting enough. And if you can't do any of that, just find a quote that is effective, a quote that encompasses the theme, the central idea of the text. Some students talked about at the very end, the last 4 paragraphs, they thought they were moved by it. I remember going to Rosetto for the first time, and you see 3 generational family meals, all the bakeries, the people walking up and down the street, sitting on their porches, talking to each other, the blouse mills where people work during the day, and there was something about this, he says, that was magical. What is it in that makes it magical? That's going to point you in the direction of understanding and articulating what the theme is. What's magical about this? Why were people happy there? Why were they living longer there? How do we not see this a whole lot today? Or for some of you, because some of you are from other countries or areas, how is this still alive and well today? What happens is this. They had to understand, all of the experts, all of the people in the hospitals, they had to understand that they needed to look beyond the individual. They had to understand that the culture that he or she was a part of, who their friends and families were and the town that the families were from. They had to appreciate the idea that the values of the world that we inhabit and the people that we surround ourselves with have a profound effect on who we are. One more time. The doctors missed this. They didn't get it right. And these two sociologists dropped some research on them that had the doctors' jaws because it wasn't like medical research that they had seen before. Outliers. All the other there it is, right there. All the other doctors were doing things like this, and all of a sudden you have an outlier like the people that went in and did this study, and they decided, hey, what is it about these immigrants from Italy? They're living so much longer than everybody else. Listen, the doctors had to look beyond the individual. They had to understand the culture. They had to understand the practices. They had to appreciate the idea that the values of the world we inhabit and the people we surround ourselves with have a profound effect on who we are. We're going to write and we're going to research on how where we are today, the family you're in, the school you're in, the culture you're in, the friend group you're in, the things you can control, the things you cannot control, how does that have an impact on who you are as an individual? And then how does that have an impact on who people are around you? It's psychological, it's sociological, it's one of my favorite books. I read it when I was 18. I think I showed you that literally right there. Hernandez, 2008. I'm old. This is what we're doing now. 2008 is when I graduated high school. We're going to do a couple of other things. We're going to try to make this artistic. So after the writing, some students, for the extra credit, I'm going to upload. You're going to do a few things. You're going to try to take something that is bland, right? Something that's a book that on the outside is kind of like this, right? Sorry, everything's backwards on my computer right now. So something that's like this, and you're going to try to make it look more interesting, like this, with art. And then, so basically what I mean is this. I'm going to upload a sample of a student who did a terrific job, who is receiving extra credit, who took the ideas from the book and made it into an artistic piece of expression. Some of you who aren't artistic, you're going to be able to do it in a written response, and it's going to be a meaningful response. It's going to be very similar to the self-authoring program, where you get to write about how this correlates with your life. Like the Rosettans itself is similar to your club activity at school, and how, like the Rosettans, you found your niche in this club or this sport, and it helped you understand yourself better. It helped you in your value system. It helped you kind of grow and prosper because people who believed in you. What is that group? And if you don't have that, what can you do to get that? Because I think being autonomous, you each have the capacity to be able to go into just that. You can find that group. You can find that clique. It's kind of like Freddie Mercury of Queen. He said, look, why are we going to sell a lot? Well, we have a community here, and we are a band of misfits playing to misfits, and they're going to buy right into our product. The Rosettans were misfits. They were immigrants. They were trying to figure it out. They bought this little town, and it flourished, and they made it theirs. And it was really cool. So for the extra credit, which I'm going to upload, you're going to take something kind of like bland, and you're going to make it yours. So you can write that response, or you can do like a cover art for the story that we just did, like a student did, where you take something that's blank, like a canvas like this, right? And you're going to have your own little twist on it, creatively, however that looks. So something like that. A friend made this for my wife. Whatever that very thing is, whether it's painting or it's, photography skills, however you're doing just that. It always helps to take pictures when you have the lens off, by the way, if you didn't know that. And have fun with it. It just needs to fit in with the theme of outliers. And your work will be shared if you want it to be shared, published for those to see. I think it's cool. Anyway, that's that. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Iced coffee's here. And unlike my classroom, I have succulents all around me because my wife has a particular, I'm not going to say obsession, but she likes plants. Have a great day, everybody. I'm going to be uploading some more information on the Vietnam extract for paper 1 and how to turn it into something that looks more like this, like we did in class. and making note cards on how to do the writing. So you can submit that, and that'll be the work that ACE looks at probably in 6 to 8 weeks, whenever that is. We have a lot of time. So I hope you're doing well. Most importantly, I'm going to upload a fun little video or two where I just kind of give a 60-second clip out of Outliers and another story that I really like, and we'll continue to move forward. Thanks so much for being connected and for being patient and submitting your work. So please do that. Get it in. I'm not going to take off points. I will continue to upload resources for all of you. Mr. H is out.